Hello everyone. Well, for today's video, I thought we would do some page turning. So I have this magazine that I just got in a few days ago, and I thought we would go through it. Okay? First we have the page of contents, and we have an article about monkeys and robots and music and some other stuff. And here we have an ad for a cruise down the Mississippi on an old-fashioned paddle boat or river boat. So I believe it starts here in Minneapolis and ends up in New Orleans. Here are the contributing writers to the magazine for this issue. And here is the place where people can write in and yell at the magazine for what they didn't do right. Some more ads, kind of an editorial from the Smithsonian. And then it says, this month we are thinking about color. Although color exists only in the mind's eye, they create a universal language. In the animal world, as in fashion, bright colors make a bold statement. The vivid hues of the strawberry poisoned dart frog declare, if you eat me, I could be the last thing you ever do. And that's no bluff. The one-inch amphibian, native to Central and South America, secretes a substance so toxic that a single drop can kill a bird or a snake. And this is an article about an artist who creates large pieces of artwork that look different under different colored lights. So here we have the foliage is green, and the blue is a bunch of monkeys, and then the red is different animals like an elephant and a lion. And then all together they make this beautifully colorful mishmash. The rainbow chart above tells a story, an entire novel in fact. British artist Jas Parkinson created the image for the Smithsonian by taking the number of times Stephen Crane's classic war saga, The Red Badge of Courage, mentions or evokes a different color. I'm interested in showing how the human mind can transform a word of text into a tangible color, said Parkinson. That's interesting. A mysterious ancient goblet leads scientists to develop a new, sensitive nanotechnology. Ben gets the blues. For Americans, green means success, but our color lexicon may have to change when the government issues a multi-hued $100 note in October. The latest in a series of redesigned notes, this new bill has less green than any C note since the government began issuing federally backed currency in 1862. For starters, the new bill's face has a blue background and security ribbon, which is filled with tiny 100s, and adjacent Liberty Bell that appears when tilted. They also cause a copper-colored Liberty Bell that sits inside a copper-colored inkwell to appear green. Such paper pyrotechnics are called for because about 2 out of every 3 Benjamins ends up abroad, where they are most prone to counterfeiting. But the bill's other side remains mostly true to the hue of the original forgery-proof ink used to print the first bills. so you can still call them greenbacks. And this is an article about optical illusions, and this is a very bright piece of artwork that seems to pulse in and out when you look at it because of the high contrast of the blue and the orange. Here's an article about Al Pacino. Al Pacino gets ready for the next act of his high-wire career, bringing live theater to the movie screen. It's a long article. Ad for a retirement community. This is typically an older person magazine, but I enjoy it. Tracking Balboa. 500 years after the explorer spied the Pacific, we retrace his epic slog. We plod the thickening heat through thorny underbrush, across massive root buttresses, and under caravans of leaf-cutter ants bearing banners of pale purple membrillo flowers. Ever since Balboa took a short walk across the long continent, the swamp forests that fuse the Americas have functioned as a gateway. They're also a divider, forming a 100-mile strip that's the only break between the northern section of the 30,000-mile Pan-American Highway that starts in Alaska and the southern part by which you can drive to the Strait of Magellan. Half a millennium later, there are still no roads through this territory. From a hilltop clearing, Balboa looked south, saw a vast expanse of water, and dropping to his knees, raised eyes and arms heavenward, and called for his men to join him. This is an article about monkeys. No alpha males allowed. Peace-loving South American monkeys and the U.S. scientists who champion their future encourage us to rethink our aggressive nature. Unlike the chest-beating primates of popular imagination, Brazil's northern macaques are easygoing and highly cooperative. Here's one jumping from tree to tree. And here is an article. It says David Hockney's long, fierce love-hate relationship with technology is on display in a major new retrospective opening next month. Here he is with an iPad, taking a picture of himself. Photography is all right, David Hockney is often given to proclaiming, if you don't mind looking at the world from the viewpoint of a paralyzed cyclops for a split second. But that's not what it's like to live in the world. At which point he's likely to unfurl the example of a 5-year-old who, when told to draw the picture of his house, will probably include the front porch and the backyard, the doghouse in the backyard, the driveway off to the side, the trees off to the other, the window overlooking the far back corner. Everything he knows is there, all on one plane of viewing, until a teacher comes along and says, no, he's doing it wrong. Then you couldn't possibly see all that from one place, therefore enforcing an entirely arbitrary one-point perspective. And yet the kid had it right in the first place, Hockney will insist. He was showing you everything that made up his home, just like you asked. awkwardness returns, he would announce triumphantly. Artists once again began looking with two eyes, trying to capture all of the things a standard chemical photograph couldn't. I don't think he likes photography that much. A single moment from a minutes-long 18-screen slow panning video from 18 vantage points, capturing the side view of a slow drive up an English countryside in 2011. Below right, the artist directs an array of small video cameras mounted on his Land Rover. And here's an article. It says, Music of the Spheres, a revolutionary acquisition showcase a stellar piece of software. So that was a very short article. And this one is called The Ephemeral City. In India, the world's largest gathering attracts tens of millions of Hindu pilgrims and a team of Harvard researchers seeking answers of their own. On the bank of the Ganges River, Hindu pilgrims show devotion at this year's Mahakumbh Mela festival. I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly. On its peak day, an estimated 30 million people attend the festival, a pop-up megacity that researchers say teaches critical lessons about urban design. So it doesn't sound like they had a 100% positive experience. We have all of these tents in this religious festival. And here we have underneath this bridge are huge banners. And each one of them is for Coca-Cola. Very interesting. Replaceable You. The same technologies driving the revolution in personal electronics are ushering in a new era in bionic limbs and organs. Prosthetics are improving so quickly that one inventor boldly predicts that disabilities will largely be eliminated by the end of the 21st century. The $1 Million Man. So this is a list of all the different parts that can be replaced on a person. The ears, the trachea, the heart, the pancreas, the arms, the hips, the knees, exoskeleton legs, ankles and feet, arteries, blood, kidneys, hands, spleen, lung, eyes, and skull. Although I don't think you would want to have all of those at once. Hugh Herr, who lost his legs to frostbite while mountain climbing in 1982, has invented several high-tech prosthetics, including the Biome artificial ankle. He personally uses 8 different prosthetic legs specially designed for activities that include running, swimming, and ice climbing. And I think that is really cool, because it takes what was once a disadvantage and turns it actually into an advantage where you can switch out your part depending on what your activity is. more ads for things that older people are interested in. Apparently older people buy a ton of coins because this magazine has already had 2 or 3 ads for them. Here's some different, just small articles. It says time machine. From 1790 to 1880, the U.S. patents application included 3-dimensional working models yielding a novel material portrait of American life. See models of the first equatorial sextant, an improved rotary printing press, a spring-loaded earring, and more in Inventions and Patent Models at the Museum of American History. So that's in one of the Smithsonian's in Washington, D.C. Now we're getting into pretty much just all ads. Finishing up the Al Pacino ad from the first part. Selling hats. Selling medicine, or chemicals, I should say. Make money in metal art. Selling a machine that carves out metal. That's pretty cool. And more coins. And more coins. And a mattress. And I can say, as someone who is getting older, a mattress becomes somewhat important, a good one. So I don't know that if I get much older, I will suddenly have a fascination with coins, but I can definitely start to sympathize with the mattress. And we have a bunch of different ads for creams, more coins, historical clothing. I actually went on this website. It is very cool, called Gentleman's Emporium, and they sell all types of things for steampunk and Victorian cosplay. And then some book reviews. And this is, I believe, a museum in China. And an ad to go visit Taiwan, the heart of Asia. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this trip through this magazine and enjoyed the sounds of the page turning. Please subscribe to my channel. I have many more videos to make for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.